What up, peeps? CreamCrazy here, just doing a little video on the topical issue that's sprung up over the last couple of days. Well, for those who... Actually, I'll say this. If you don't know this, you haven't been checking your Facebook feed, you haven't been on the websites, you haven't been anywhere. Basically, if you don't know, which I highly doubt, Randy Orton has been suspended for 60 days. And... a lot of people are cheering because they're thinking, holy shit, WWE have actually done it. They've suspended a big name. And, well, I know Spinnernet is shocked because he didn't know that WWE would do something like that. I'm certainly shocked because I didn't think Orton would get suspended again, knowing the responsibility that bears on his ever-weakened shoulders. Well, I find it kind of funny because a lot of people, I've gone on the internet, and I've seen on WrestleZone.com, Facebook, NoDQ comment sections, I've seen so many people just saying, yes, that's the third strike, he's done. But they're thinking, ooh, why is he done for 60 days? Why isn't it more? Well, for those of you who are a bit ignorant, and I know some of you probably are, for thinking that just because of one suspension, he's done for more than he could. Basically, everyone's saying he was done for a third strike and therefore he's gone. Why is it 60 days? He was suspended, I think, in between 2006 and 2010. He was suspended once for a drug violation. The other, I don't know what it was for, and it was it wasn't a wellness policy violation. It was just a conduct violation. Therefore, it is only a second time. Some people are a bit stupid and thinking, should be fired, shouldn't he? Well, a lot of people are saying he should be fired anyway, but that's just them for you. The fact is, I find it kind of funny that Jericho and Orton get suspended within a week of each other. Now, I don't know, obviously we know why Jericho got suspended. We know why Chris Jericho got suspended for 30 days, because he technically broke Brazilian law by stomping on the flag of Brazil to generate heel heat at a house show. Now, I find this quite funny because JBL goose-stepped in with a Nazi pose in 2004 to generate heel heat at a house show in Germany, yet he wasn't prosecuted under the law because it wasn't done for political purposes. So, I find it quite funny that in this case, WWE take the moral high ground and just suspend Jericho for 30 days. Then again, it means he can just go off with Fozzy and come back and beat Randy Orton up again. But, he can't, because Orton's suspended. Now, the fact is, when I heard that Jericho was suspended, I thought, that sucks, because it's for something that technically you can't really suspend someone for. But then when I heard that Orton was suspended too, and everyone was saying, oh, that means SmackDown's going to shit. Well, I thought, obviously, the old saying goes, one man's pain is another man's gain. Because, think about it, you have two big guys, Orton and Jericho, two of the biggest stars of the last 10 to 15 years. And please don't tell me I'm wrong on that, because just look at the guys and their popularity, you'll see my point. Especially in Orton's case. This now gives a huge amount of potential for the mid-carders to go into main event spots to fill the time. Because, of course, Daniel Bryan was already there. You then think guys like Wade Barrett, who is coming back from an injury and probably will go straight into the main event. Guys like Dolph Ziggler, Kofi Kingston, Cody Rhodes. Those guys have now got the opportunity which for years had been unfairly deprived to them. And I don't know why they were unfairly deprived of pushes they deserved. Was it because they weren't ready? Was it because WWE just doubted their ability? Was it because they were too busy pushing guys who they'd pushed years ago? Lord knows. But to be perfectly honest, this is perfect. The timing could not have become a better time, because the post-WrestleMania slump between now and SummerSlam is bound to happen. We're going to see not really much attention paid to WWE programming, because not a lot of stuff goes on in this time. This is probably the only part of the year where literally nothing happens. Well, between SummerSlam and Survivor Series, not a lot goes on either, but at least I'm more glued to my screen then. And I feel if they can build These young, I wouldn't say young anymore, because think about it. Cody Rhodes has been around since 2007, I think. Kofi's been around since 2008. And Dolph Ziggler, okay, he was with the Spirit Squad in '06, but he's been around as Dolph Ziggler since around 2009. So these guys aren't really young guys. They've been in WWE for quite some time now, about, between at least 5 years between them. Well, not between them, but just in general, they've been around for that long. They have been given mid-card titles. Of course, Ziggler is a former world champion in inverted commas. And we know that Cody and Kofi are two guys who have basically won just about everything, bar Money in the Bank, Royal Rumble, and a major title. So why not give them the push they deserve? Because honestly, if we're going to see a transition period, we might as well see it when two big names are suspended. Because we know Jericho is not going to be there for a while in the summer and the autumn, so this suspension just extends what would have been. So with Orton gone until the end of August, I think. No, he'll be gone until the end of July, I think. So, he will be, because he will be missing Money in the Bank, he'll be missing No Way Out. So, just imagine what they can do. Just imagine what they could do, building these guys to something much bigger. And, to be perfectly honest, if they don't, I'll be shocked. Because that will just show the lack of transition. Then, if they do that, if they put these guys in there, hell, even put Jack Swagger in an upper mid-card position, you could then bring guys like Antonio Cesaro, Cassius Ohno, Dean Ambrose, once I believe he's recovered from an injury, Seth Rollins, Richie Steamboat, guys like that from the NXT FCW hybrid. Those guys can then go onto the lower mid-card, in the middle of the mid-card if they're good enough, and I know some of them are. You can then push the younger talent forward and get them exposure. Because, to be honest, that's how business works, people. And if they don't do that with this nice little time frame where they can, I'll be disappointed. Because you can't stick with the same guys forever. Even if it benefits a business model, you gotta keep doing it. You know? You gotta keep doing it. And if you don't, then the fans will be disappointed because of a lack of progression. So there's a lack of creativity and a lack of ideas in today's modern wrestling company. And unless they do that, we might get a slight bit anxious. And I know I don't want to be anxious looking on WWE's product now, that after a really rubbish pay-per-view, that, you know, I really want to see something good. And if this period, I mean, obviously, if you look at this, what's happened with the Big Show and John Cena is because they thought Tensai was shit and therefore have reversed back to a feud which happened 4 years ago. You think they could have pushed someone else young in that. They could have actually, in my honest opinion, pushed a guy like Ryback, who is a destructive guy. He could have been terminated. They always just thought, you know what, I terminated Big Show. I could have easily brought in Ryback as a replacement because I could have fired him, have him done it, and just bypassed the rules entirely. Bring a new young guy into a position like this. But no, they had to stick it on Big Show. So bringing guys who have not been in the main event, upper echelons, put them in there, give them the chance. Because it's once in a blue moon that you'd find two high-quality main event guys like Jericho and Orton suspended. It is very unlikely. It's likely you'd probably find one of them suspended. Okay, I would also mention just now, because Rey Mysterio is suspended as well as injured. So you've got Mysterio, Orton, and Jericho, three massive main event guys who are not there. You've got so much potential to put that in that gap. You've got a few mid-carders you could easily fill in those holes. And to be honest, I've said it already, if WWE does not do that, then things are really wrong with the company. I'm not usually the guy to push the moral high ground and say that this is how a company should do something, because I honestly don't think that's my honest bloody point, but this is where they should. If I'm ever going to be critical of the current product, they should just give these guys the chance to prove themselves. Because Daniel Bryan took a ball. Okay, it was an unintentional ball, but he ran with it. Now he's a main event guy. And you wouldn't be able to say that 3 or 4 years ago, would you? Hell, even put Miz back in there. Just you've got an opportunity that you haven't had in quite some time. Give the you have this youth initiative apparently, but you're not putting it to good use. Give these guys at any point in the ladder, from the FCWs to the upper mid card, to the middle of the mid card, to the lower undercard, everything now has a possibility of shifting. And if you don't do that, a lot of problems will come up. Guys, like my page on Facebook down there in the description box. Search me on Skype. Ask me Q&A questions. It's all down there. Subscribe here if you want to hear any more vids. Some will come eventually. You can also like the video, comment your opinions on Orton and Jericho's suspensions in the comment section. What do you want to see happen? How do you think things will go down? And basically, do you honestly think change will occur from this? Because I honestly don't know. We have to wait and see. I have been Cream Crazy. You've been people watching. This has been a little video on the suspensions of Jericho and Orton. And I will see you next time. Cheers.